Alright, CIS 125. This would be week 4 in review. Okay. Initially here we have picture of some work. Just as an example of, we don't have all of the work, we just have part of the work here showing somebody's work that we can take a picture of it and then store it as a PDF and then do some markings on it. For example, you can see that there are some issues right here. You can't use a dot, you got to use a asterisk, and you got to be equal to something, and so forth. Like up here, this doesn't look too bad. This area right here. So we should know sequence, conditional, one process after another. These boxes, one in, one out, and we perform some operation. And here some process or function. Conditional, this is either going to be true or false. So we're going to go one direction or the other. There can be some functions here or none. It could be a null, false. There's some functions here. Always comes back together, and this is always a connector. It can't be any process box. And then a leading decision, we do no processing in between here. We have a connector, and that can't be any other type of box but a connector, and then we connect, and then this is true or false. If it's true, we stay in the loop. If it's false, we go out of the loop and move on to other processing. We refer to this as a do while. Do while the condition is true. Do while the condition is true. And then here can be other structures. That makes sense? Same thing for an if then. There could be all kinds of structures here. It could be a loop, and so programming ends up being a combination of all these structures. We talked about functions. The integer function always takes the value this way on the number line. Now we're not dealing with negatives, but if you had something here, it would go back to this value here. It always takes the next smaller and drops it. So by adding 0.5, you can actually take a number and round it up to the next item. And we use this in one. Here's just another picture of some pseudocode sequence. We got a legend, and then we have the boxes here of the processes. As another example. So we've got rate of pay, regular hours worked, overtime hours worked. I should say rate of pay, and then we calculated the regular pay, the overtime pay, and the gross pay. So we read in the information, did a calculation, did a calculation, did a calculation, printed the results. And you'll notice here they omitted the let statement, which is a lot of statements don't have to have an initial statement if you're doing a calculation. We talked a little bit about work. Everybody should turn in a document with name, date, what course it is, what school they're at, and a brief description. Their design, their flowchart and pseudocode and legend and so forth, all that material. A copy of the code, a copy of the run. You turn it in as a PDF. Even though we don't cover it yet for a little bit, we showed a leading decision, a do while. Make the decision first and then loop. A trailing decision is a do until. You're going to do what's in here first and then either continue the loop. Have you reached a decision? And typically this is the false part and typically this is the true part. Are you done? Yes. Go on. No. Then continue into the loop. So it's a do until. And along with the assignments, that would be it for week 4. So we're working through our design. Each week we get a new design and then we're working through programming those. And we should be getting caught up on finishing the programming of those. Alright, that's it.